Hello everyone on YouTube, my name is Jason, and I like to make unique and powerful decks for Magic the Gathering. This is another one of my deck techs. This is one of my favorite aggro decks. This is a very aggressive style of green, pure green, and it's not an elf deck. It's a green deck, but it's not an elf deck. A lot of green decks are elf decks. I don't like elves that much, and so I try not to make decks with elves in them usually, and this is not an elf-based deck. It's got elves in it because I need them for mana base, but they're not a main part of the deck. They're just in there for mana, so we'll get right into it. Foily land, it's very shiny. We all like shiny things. We got 17 other lands, that makes 18 forests. And we got 4 treetop villages. Really good for early game trample damage. Then we'll get into sorceries. We got Overwhelming Stampede. It's kind of like a overrun on crack. It's really awesome. I love it. It's got trample, gain greatest power, and within this deck it's pretty awesome. Genesis Wave. This card in this deck is stupid because of all the mana it produces. It produces a lot of mana, and so Genesis Wave just puts out nearly the entire deck in one move. It's just awesome. And a little Resurrection Regrowth. I love it. I like this card. Then we got Instance. Beast Within. A little bit of destruction. This card's pretty good for getting rid of pesky lands and pesky enchantments that come around. It gives them a creature, but it won't last that long in this deck. So, yeah. We got Hunter's Instinct for card draw. Pretty cool. Then we got 2 Vines of Vastwood, which is basically a green counterspell, and it also powers it up even further. So, yeah. Artifacts, we got Sensei's Divining Top for more card draw. I like to draw cards. We all do in Magic. Articism. This is another part of this deck. This deck is designed to put out big creatures that are hard to kill, and this is part of it. This way they stick around, and they just keep doing that damage for days. It's pretty awesome. It gives them all hexproof plus regeneration. Pretty awesome. Vernal Bloom makes all forests tap for 2. Pretty cool. Lignify, more removal basically for green. Just turns the creature into a wall. Quest of Renewal. When it gets 4 quest counters, I can untap my stuff whenever I want, my creatures whenever I want to, and it gets quest counters by tapping creatures. In this deck, it gains counters increasingly fast because I have a lot of elf cards that produce mana in this deck. But it's not an elf deck, so don't recommend any more elf cards, because I don't want more elf cards. Then 4 Guise Anthems. This is Glorious Anthem, but green version, basically. Came out in Planners of Chaos. Pretty cool card. Then we got 1 Thrune, the Last Troll. Can't be countered, hexproof, and regeneration. Pretty cool. Awesome. Slovis Rogue Elemental. Trample, regeneration, 6/5/8. Pretty awesome. Rushwood Elemental. This is mid-game, really cool card. Trample 4/4. At the beginning of my upkeep, I may put a 1/1 counter on Rushwood Elemental. So, the longer the game goes on, And since this deck has a habit of putting out creatures that are hard to die, that don't die so easily, the stronger it gets. And has trample, so it just gets there for days. This card in this deck is stupid. It's Primal Clocks. It's got Trauma. Its power and toughness is equal. I think I'm saying that right. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of green mana symbols permanents. So it comes out as a 6/6 originally if you have nothing else in the field. But I usually do. I've never gotten this card to be less than 10 power with trample, so yeah. Pretty awesome. Bellowing Tangleworm, just so my green creatures have Intimidate. So unblockable damage is always good. Thangren Firstborn, just for some extra power. Gives a little boost to all attacking creatures, including itself. It's pretty awesome. Then we got 3 Arbor Elves. I think there's only about 7 elves in this deck, and they're basically all Arbor Elves or Llanowar Elves. And here are the Llanowar Elves. We got 4 Llanowar Elves. We got 2 Wickbow Elders for artifact destruction. Then we got 4 Leatherback Behemoths. This is in here because it's basically, in this deck, a 2-turn drop 4/5, so it's pretty awesome. And then we got Weatherseed Treefolk, Resurrection, Trample. Vigor, Trample. If you deal damage to a creature other than Vigor, all of them get stronger. Awesome. And Terra Stomper. Can't be countered, Trample, 6/8/8. Awesome. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's the deck, everyone. It's pretty consistent. I like it. It's one of my favorite decks when it comes to aggro. Like I said, don't recommend any more elves, really, unless they're uber good for aggro. But I pretty much like this deck. Tell me what you guys think. What everyone out there on YouTube thinks of the deck. I like it, but recommend some cards and a comment. And if you want to subscribe, I'm not going to pressure anyone because I don't really care if anyone subscribes. I'm not that into it. But yeah, like the decks, and if you want to, and comment. Thanks everyone. Bye.